but if anybody wants one, it's got a poem on it, feel free to just take one off the table. And then there's a sign-up sheet if you do care to get updates or emails.
That's really good.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Our card boy.
Right. So with that, we are going to kick things.
Thank you. I have a couple of new ones that I wrote. And so I'm going to start with this one. It's titled My Mother's Feet. The drought has stripped the needles of the conifers. The trees are taller than the house now. Whoever planted them did not think far enough into the future. I see my mother's face, search for lines, seeing her changed. At night, the weight of anticipated loss squats on my chest. I trace the needlework of the quilt, recall each patch of fabric, baby dress, first day of school, confirmation, a blanket to protect the memories so I won't forget. I see my future in my mother's feet, deformed toes, an heirloom. I imagine being unable to feel the ground I walk on. My dollhouse is still in the attic. The furniture is broken, the dolls are lost or stored in cobweb boxes. Each spring, Mom buys an aquatic plant. Its floating leaves give birth to miniature copies of themselves, a fractal of generations. I step through the door and memories flash flood me. Homecoming is time travel, is transition back into childhood. How it works is a mystery. My mother's hands no longer play the piano. The sheet music curls on the shelves. When I walk into the room, I hallucinate the sound of sisterly duets. Denial. The woodpecker hammers the trunk of the dying tree. A few struggling branches still bear leaves, but there is no denying the decay. Like the crumbling plaster on the walls. I do not understand the complexities of my parents' will. My mother cannot remember the notary's explanation. Prickly thoughts chatter in my brain. Cozy myself in denial. Rain fills the fountain. The water lily unfolds a single flower that floats alone. Once it has bloomed, it will sink to the bottom. The fountain leaks. The patio tiles are cracked. The vines that curtain the balconies suggest an idol, height what needs to be repaired. In a bigger chest in the attic, I find my grandfather's violin case. I slide the lock open. Horsehair spills from broken bows. Nobody has played it in 60 years. But we keep everything, the violins and the books, and the pewter dishes that are spotted with disease. Tin pest transforms silvery metal to gray powder. And on a catalytic reaction that, when started, will only accelerate. Once the gate set in, denial will halt it. Return. And my apologies to the folks who are going to read this on Tuesday. Each summer I return. I open the gate and climb the stairs to the garden, through the garden to the house. My steps quicken. I feel the jolt of coming home like a comet that gains momentum and races closer. The The giant Antæus must touch the earth, his mother, to regrow his strength. Even at its aphelion, the comet never loses the sense of Ellis. Why? We call it writing why it exists. Thank you.
With that, we are going, and Agnes, thank you. Thank you for being, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks.
And with that, we're going to call up Sharon Singley, who is here today. Sharon, do you have, I was thinking about this, is there a reading, when's the next reading in Cafe Berlin?
The next reading at Cafe Berlin for Spoken is on Thursday, this coming, and we'll be featuring Richard and Lynn.
Okay. I just...
No, not you. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's not Richard.
No.
It's Lynn and it's Eric Danielson. And Eric is, he does reviews for the Tribune, and he is a poet. And he did do a great review for my book.
Well, the reason I asked is because next Thursday I have a friend from Ohio from Cleveland that's going to be in the area that was looking for readings that were going on from like Thursday to Monday. So that's why I don't know if I can do either myself, but he can. So I'll let him know. But okay.
Super.
Sure.
Thanks. Sorry about that, Richard. I gave you a heart attack there for a second. I'm just glad Eric's not here. I want to read this really wonderful anthology. I brought an extra one if anybody wants to pick one up. I've got a classic.
That really is a wonderful photograph on there.
That is Justin Ham's photograph. And the title is from one of Julianne King's poems. So it's super cool. No one sees the irony in the Gasconade Review. And I want to read this one called Unrestrained Indulgences on Splice Creek. Splice Creek is near where I used to live in Woldridge, which is a little railroad town by the river. And Splice Creek has really great fossils if you're into fossil hunting. It's a wonderful place. Spring shakes frogs into a sexual frenzy. Peeps and groans bounce across stone ledges, bubble up from muddy banks. Unrestrained indulgences vibrate mucky petals. Breezes carry love potions across the creek into the woods. Trees and bushes blossom, enticing pollinators with their sensual swing. Trills and tweets tell of returning birds seeking mates. They squabble with permanent residents, vie for snacks and space. A committee of buzzards hovers, eyeing something dead near the road. A stand of daffodils now abandoned. An ancient apple tree spreads its scented canopy over a partial foundation, buried by curly dock and dandelions. Rain and sun conspire, and overnight fungi appear dancing across rotting walls, the remains of a home. A murder of crows discusses last year's cornfield plotting. The moaning of a neighbor's calving heifer floats across the low bridge. I walk the creek and wonder, witnessing this wild living. I know the freedom of I am working on a new collection, which I mentioned to Jason, and it's about marginal lives, women who live on the margins. So these are a little different than what we've been hearing, but I wanted to share with you, see what you think. The first one is titled Pays Better Than Screwing Bowling Trophies Together. And it comes from a job that I did have at a factory, screwing bowling trophies together. You can only imagine. In a third-rate bar, 10 p.m. to closing, we dance in a bay window on a tiny stage, hanging upside down on a pole, wearing little. We have our fans, old men who give us nickel bags for chips. Everyone knows the drinks they buy us are watered down, but the weed we roll in toilet paper, smoke in the bathroom. We do what we can. Got rent to pay, a broke down ride, quietly. We're dancers, we're women, we are mothers with kids to feed. Another one in that collection to be is called Country Roads. Perfect families, dinners on tables, bless us, O Lord, we walk, share our common stories. We do not want to go home, home where they take without concern, use their child's body, objectify, defile. Even her younger sister, she said, was not to be spared. When the car pulls up, driver asking directions, we see it naked in his hand and do what we cannot do at home. We turn and run. Run for the trees. How does it feel to be safe at home in your bed? I hear she got caught up with a rough crowd. Too many drugs. Killed herself. They shrug and say, just another crazy girl. Gone history. One more that will also be in that collection. Women driven to the edge by circumstances beyond their control. Backwoods offering. Trees creak. Bare branches scrape against a low gray sky. She turns her collar, pulls the hat down close, wraps a scarf across her face. Heart beats a steady rhythm, her thumb numb. Determination, even the wind seems safer, warmer than the frozen family she left behind. To wonder, celebrate her leaving. Their motivation, no longer her concern. Only the truck stopped, door open, warm. The stench of stale sweat, tobacco smoke, whiskey spilling forth, reminders of where she's been. Is this all the Missouri backwoods? She turns to the unshaven, throws her up to the floor, grabs the rail, hoists her tired, cold self into this next possibility. Knowing it may not end well, she makes it back against the frozen wind.
sure he wouldn't mind me telling you this. And I just want to shoot this out to him and let him know what we're thinking about it. But I talked to John Clayton yesterday morning. He's dealing with COVID right now. So that's why he's not here with us. But I mentioned it just because we're recording it, and I just wanted to let him know that we're thinking about it. So, and with that, we're going to welcome up Barb.
This is my first visit here. I really like it. It's been fun. 2 years ago, I published a book about my mother, through Penny Memories. And I was her main caregiver. And Lynn and I were buddies throughout our publication on our books and publishing them. She helped me a lot with things. This is called The Phone of the Wind. Have you ever heard of the wind? After a tsunami, which wiped out, I should have made a note, but there were a lot of deaths, there was a lot of grief. A farmer put a phone booth on his land with a dead line, and people could come and talk to their loved ones, just to relieve their grief. And he wanted to relieve his grief by talking to his cousin who had died young. So it's called the wind phone, or the phone of the wind. Whispers to you, my lost mother, on the phone of the wind. The storm of Alzheimer's has washed away your well-constructed mind, your recipes, your photo albums, our plans. Our connection now, a rotary phone, inside a tire, sitting atop a hill, overlooking a valley. No dial tone, just the murmurs of the caller's breath. Itaru built this phone booth to contact his young cousin taken by cancer. Speaking to the wind, making rain of the tears calms his sorrow. He offers us this chance. Can it be this simple, this profound? I haven't forgotten a number. Each finger traces the circular path, releases and decides. I wait for you to pick up. I strain to catch your voice in the throat. I bear my burdens into the wind. You were always the wisest. Gradually, I had to have all the answers for you. I couldn't hold on to you. The rising waters washed you away. You, the mother I knew, oblivious to your own drowning. After the wind swept your mind away, I thought you left me a message on my cell. I struggled to hear your excited words. Your static slowly dissipated like fog lifting to reveal a new meadow. My siblings and I crowd around the phone booth of the wind, taking turns to share our news, to seek advice, to seek. We talk well. We survive our own catastrophes, broken dreams, broken health, broken hearts. Good news too, new grandchildren, milestones, awards, honors. We seek your praise. Relief that you've missed the pandemic, the collapse of civility, political eruptions, mass shootings, earthquakes, polar floods, exile to Mars. The phone trills as we dial. We hear your whispers, echo your name. It's time to read from my mom. My next book, Too Much Fun to Be Living, written with Ultra Fox. We collaborated by writing verses to each other every day, calling a poem done and going on to the next one. So this book was heavy-duty grief work, and this one made me laugh. So it was nice, and she and I had the same sense of humor. Closet. In my closet. To another dimension. I decide to enter. Will it be a nightmare or an escape from conformity? There's a hole in the back of my closet that spews out clothes I wore in my dreams. The closet door is sagging from the weight My old clothes, the small sizes meant for goodwill, balloon into buffoons with snarky smiles. My scarves take flight like fairies, I follow. My imagination fits me better than those goodwill rejects. And what was I thinking when I bought them? If the portal doesn't change them into the bigger size, they'll take a snarky flight into the trash. I chase the garment piece. Am I dreaming or scheming to find the gal who used to wear size 6? Or will the fairy stretch my imagination to fit my old hips? The garment beast, I bust buttons pulling up these jeans. The mirror cracks up as I hear rips of seams and dreams of being a size 2. I quickly gather up my old wares like they're firewood and head home through the portal before it closes. Mom said I always carried my weight well. I will learn to wait for that portal to open again. Wait, W-E-I-G-H-T. I'm working on a book of AI robots. The book is a dark humor satire inspired by weird news. The characters are AI robots for the most part that actually exist, and I gave them personalities and relationships to make a commentary on our world. Some of you might have heard this one. It features Elon Musk's Optimus, his Tesla robot Optimus, and Ameka is an engineered arts robot. Dark matter particles found in human penises of elderly billionaires. This phenomenon raises alarm bells and investigations into AI robots, Ameka, and Optimus's creation, interstellar Botox, produced with dark matter from the center of the Milky Way. A hot, steamy product on the dark web, guaranteed to help rich old farts to maintain their youth and vitality. Ancient evolved stars enhance their vibrant glow and mass aging by consuming dark matter particles. Why can't humans? Interstellar Botox, designed in Musk's labs by Ameka, the top robotic mind, and mixed by Optimus with his dexterous hands and fingers so delicate that he can sort raw eggs. Dark matter and blended into a creamy, sugar-free, and gluten-free smoothie, leaving users in a suspended state of immortal bliss. The product circulating among the deep state, not FDA approved, interstellar Botox impairs cognitive function and drives off Fashion Nova. Use of this product can be fatal as the particles smash against each other, releasing powerful bursts of energy like shooting lighter fluid into a flaming barbecue grill. Other long-range effects of dark matter on the health of aging billionaires have not yet been determined. Use of caution alone.
Before we wrap up this list, I just want to say again, we will be here again on October 19th at 4 o'clock. We will have a bunch of readers. If you can come for 2 people, that's great. If you can come for 10, that's great. Whatever you have the energy to do. I have my days where I don't have the energy for it, so I get it. But we'd like to see you if you can be here. Okay. And so, lastly on our list, we have Ken. Ken.
We're reading a poem by someone else. Space between memory and loss. In Joshua Tree signs as the air is stirred by offerings. He is not a fragment, but a symptom of flickering across the desert. Yesterday's light, tomorrow's blessing, a whisper caught in the wind.
I've since looked up and Steve talked about this work is great.
He's fantastic. They're missing. Poem that I read a couple months ago, well, and I've only read it a couple of times, and I realized when I read it, I needed to read it more often because I used to know this by memory. I wrote it 23 years ago. My daughter was diagnosed in 2001 with type 2 diabetes. She was 8, and I'd always wanted to write a nursery rhyme, and it came when she was 8 or 9. So, and when she go to bed, we would recite it to each other. So, yeah. Sweet dreams. Come sail with me in chocolate seas, beyond the coffee grounds, where gummy fish grant every wish, and sweetness still abounds. Now close your eyes, a sweet surprise awaits you while you sleep. Fancy tales of licorice whales within the ocean deep. With jellyfish in every dish, a peanut butter pie, and just of peppermint in every mermaid's sigh. Cross seas so cold with marshmallows like icebergs on the waves, to tropic shores with toasted s'mores, buried in pirate. Through salty gales with toffee sails, we'll search for tasty treats. In far-off lands, the muffin man will sweep you off your feet. At stately balls and of gingerbread, pink bubble gum, and sugar plums will dance within your head. Then dawn will break as you awake. Oh, how your eyes will gleam. These words were said beside your bed. They came true in a dream. One of my few rhyming poems. Okay, I wrote this just the other day. I was a scuba diver from 81 through 98. I broke my ankle. I took off for a year, and it was something that was coming anyway because I'm suffering vertigo from inner ear problems. You know, so I did a lot of scuba diving. Hidden Bounty. South of Newport, we waded into the bay at Grain Bridge. The water colder than anything we encountered at Palancar. That water warm even as we hovered at 100 feet, looking over the wall into the depths of darkness. The water calmer than our surf entry the day before. We entered the darkness that awaited us, adding one new night dive under our dive belts. This was different from those in the current of the Niagara River, and a stark contrast to the reefs of Cozumel. Starfish and urchins greeted us, our dive lights seeming to bring life. Startled, crabs skittered out of sight, and flounder, lying flat on the bottom, glanced up, amused as the surge lifted and lowered us to their level. Lobsters, too quick for our reflexes, could not evade the hands of Romano, a good friend and native to these waters, who greeted us as we waded to shore. His catch already in a pot over a fire that warmed us as we feasted. And one more, and I read this the other night. When I read it. Politics. Electoral treachery. Whataboutery. A bit of chicanery. Linguistic version, his favorite perversion. Oral deception without exception. Self-anointing with finger-pointing. A future lost, our nature's cost, unless the wise ignore his lies.
About how I dislike rhyming poems, but I have to say, the poem for your daughter was fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Again, Bonnie, it's great to see you. I miss you guys. Really.
Thank you.
And with that, Mark asked me if he could come up here and talk to everybody. So he's going to go ahead and do that. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Mark Lundgren. I'm the executive director for. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for your work. And thank you for having patience with the creatives. So thank you. Our lives are full right now. And tonight, for me, it was just a strong breath of fresh air. Very full time that we are living in. And I want, all of you are creative, so I want you to go with me to this place for a second. Past November 5th, 2024. Past that. Because it's hard for me to realize what is beyond that. So I want you, creatives, to know that April of 2025 is National Poetry Month. And that's only 6 months away.
We will have an event here for that.
We will. And to that point, what I want to put in your minds, 6 months, package those poems up into your publisher. Finish, be inspired, and create new work. Because in April of 2025, in the state of Missouri, some of us in this room and more in the state are going to conjure a lot of artists, a lot of poets from our nation to realize what we know, that Missouri is a place of creativity for poetry. We are going to work with the venues that are St. Louis, Rolla, Belle MO, and much, much more. We're going to conjure a lot of venues so that we, between now and then, so that we can let the nation to bring more poets to Missouri and to create that magic and see what happens after those events happen. And those, just to refresh, the month of April is National Poetry Month. Venues all over the state have different nights, different days, different kinds of poetry readings, and they have a following. So we want to bring a lot of poets from all the country to plug into those events for our Missouri audiences to create something really magical for the rest of 2025 and beyond. So the place I want to as creatives, and it's 90 degrees today, won't be that warm for that long. Soon very gray and cold. And that's what all of you are sitting in that space, drinking that cup of tea, creating. When you're doing that, please think about April. Please think about plugging into these venues that you know about, and there's going to be more. So I just wanted to spark you with that, because we will be talking more about this all over the state for all these poetry events for the rest of the 6 months. So please get plugged into that. Please talk to your friends here in this room. They will give you names. They will put you on the list for the rest of the year. That's my job. dust on you now. To motivate you to do that.
Somebody has
Gray months ahead to be. So thank you. Thank you.
just thinking next to Bill, I was reading about this one. Like 20 people hear that one, so that's going to happen. And then he and I are going to be at, speaking of Columbia, at Cafe Berlin on April 24th.
I want to make an announcement that is not 6 months in the future, but next month on October 15th, drink in Roma. So please come out and get that there's your mic. So
It's a great space, I'm wrong. If you haven't been,
See,
it's lovely.
I'll cheat, I get Rick to pick me up. I know I'll be there.
I do know Elise. Yeah.
All right. With that, I'd just like to tell everyone, have a good night.
She had some help.